Patriot Place, EA Sports set for football at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. Two teams here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Taking it about the 1. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. This defense for the Patriots, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Mills now. Open man is Samuel, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 11 more on that one and another first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They go play action. Mills looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
7 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That'll give him 8 that time. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Mills. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Carr now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Throwing again on second down. Carr. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a first down. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there. The Patriots at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 17, Mills. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And he is going to have a Texans first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now on 2nd and 13, Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Charles, a nice play there, wasting no time making his presence felt for this defense.
And you know, we heard the same conversation around the league. A lot of people were surprised that he was available, and they let him go. And now he's going to make a big-time impact with his new squad.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Pats force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Shotgun now for Carr. It's caught, Smith. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a third and about 13. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Play action. Now it's Carr. This is Smith to the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. A gain of 19 yards. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Let's go now.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. Down to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw is Mills. That's underneath to Pierce. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, Mills. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Nico Collins, 30 yards. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's had the 40, the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Patriots. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
To throw again on second down. Mills. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Pats at the line ready to go. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Looking downfield for Godwin. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Play action now, Mills. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this will not have the distance to get there. Short, no good, just under the crossbar. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
On second down, this bottled up fumble. It's out, it's loose, and the Texans scoop it. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. The try here for the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Texans 28, Patriots 7.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. This one fielded at the 5. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Patriots take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today? Picked off by Jerome Baker, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. From the 10. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, But, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Mills. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
First down, Mills. Flush to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Marcus Jones, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Texans send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And returning it, here's Hamler. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Patriots take over.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
A 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Foxborough. Carr going to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
101 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point up and through. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
42, Patriots 7.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard
New England with a first down as they begin the drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Hey, 734. Express.
Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. And my goodness, another interception.
Derek Stingley picks it.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Point after try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Next to score, Texans 49, Patriots 7.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded right around the 8. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. Touchdown! Jonnu Smith, 29 yards.
And the Pats are able to claw one back.
Extra point right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Off the play fake, Mills. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
And this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Hitting Samuel on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. 4 yards remain for second down.
Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
Got his target, Samuel. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 21.
First down, Houston.
On the handoff, Edwards. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the...
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And now here is another interception. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Yet another mistake after the interception there, and gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't, and also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys, but being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That one 28 yards on the ground.
First down, Texans.
On the counter, it's Edwards. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carr now to throw.
Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 43-yard line.
To throw, it's Carr.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. On play action, now Carr. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Point after, right down the middle. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
They'll run the toss here. Edwards. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete. It's Collins. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 39. First and 10, it's Pierce. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Edwards. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They run once more with Edwards. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.